Oh, hey there. Welcome to Learning Labs. Today we're in body systems. We're talking level 3, which is all about the digestive system.
And here we have the digestive system. Let's get right into it. So, the digestive system asks the question.
How does your body get nutrition in it that it needs for optimal energy and performance? Anything you do, me standing around here, walking around, all takes energy. When we're playing a sport and we're performing hard, we need energy to sustain that motion. How do we do it? Just like a car needs fuel, when you floor it, the Ferrari is going to eat a lot of fuel. Our body needs fuel so that we can floor it and do our best job. How does it work? Food is our fuel. Food takes 18 to 24 hours in a journey through your digestive system. It is transformed into nutrients and energy. The body eliminates whatever it doesn't need. Over here in the mouth, where it all begins, mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. What's the difference? If you ever took any of my chemistry courses, you would know mechanical means physical change, okay? Like punching something, crunching something, stuff like that. Using a hammer to beat something down, break something, that's physical or mechanical change, okay? Mechanical digestion. Chemical digestion, irreversible change. Okay, chemical change in chemistry or physics is like acid rain melting concrete or steel or rust on metal. So what is mechanical digestion in the mouth? It's your chewing, right? You're physically beating down whatever you took a bite of. If it was a bite of pizza, you're chewing it down into smaller pieces. The smaller pieces then mix with a chemical. Your chemical is called saliva. Saliva has enzymes in it, which is like small little dudes who are attacking stuff and breaking stuff down further. Okay, and they use chemical ways to break it down. So it's even smaller breakdown than your chewing, right? That allows the body to digest it better. Your tongue also is involved with mechanical digestion. It rotates, moves things around, and even sometimes squishes things. Salivary glands. Take a guess. Salivary glands. What does it do? What's a gland? Meaning it produces something. And it produces saliva. Salivary, saliva, sounds pretty similar. Okay, and that is where some of the more breakdown of the chemical digestion occurs. Taking a look at this diagram, there's two of them here for a reason. I did for sure. It goes down to the next part, which is the esophagus. You can see it down there. The pharynx, before it gets to the esophagus, actually I made a mistake. It's the throat, okay, the pharynx. It is the passageway for both food bolus to the esophagus and air into the trachea. So you might have been eating one time and you started to choke because the food went down the wrong pipe. What does that mean? Well, in your neck, in your throat, there's two pipes. There's one that involves the respiratory system and the air that you breathe, and there's one that's the digestive system that is involved in the food that you eat. Okay, because food can't go into the lungs, so you need to separate them. This is the separation area. Swallowing takes place here. Okay, the epiglottis, it meets with the glottis, which is a flap, a little valve that chooses where stuff goes. So if you're breathing air, it goes through like that, and then you take a bite of something, you're eating something, you swallow it, it closes and it puts the food this way. So no food can get into the trachea. Sometimes it forgets, it messes up, I don't know, it's being silly, and allows food to go through. That's why you choke and you try to let it back out and go this way. Or you throw up and it goes that way. This is a little diagram of it. Oh, look at that. The guy's eating pizza. Cool. All right, you see the tubes? So the trachea is in the front of the neck, and the epiglottis or the esophagus is in the back of the neck. Cardiac sphincter. Okay, this is a sphincter. If you ever hear that word, it's they're like a valve. Okay, it's like a doorway. So here, the cardiac sphincter sounds like cardiac for heart, but actually we're talking about the stomach. So I don't know why the name is like that, but that's the name. Okay, it's a muscle that's located on the entrance of the stomach. So it allows the food to get in and hopefully not any food to get out. Sometimes you have to throw up, so it allows it. Or sometimes you have acid reflux. That is the acid in the stomach coming up through your esophagus. Okay, but its main job is to prevent that.
What exactly happens in our stomachs when we eat? Even before we have taken the first bite of a meal, the brain sends impulses to the stomach. These impulses start the production of secretions in the stomach, and the upper part of the stomach, which acts as a reservoir, expands. The food passes into the stomach through the cardia at the stomach entrance. This is a muscle that acts like a valve, closing the top of the stomach. The top part of the stomach, the fundus, is where food and the air that we swallow with every bite is collected. This is where the stomach volume starts to adapt. The fundus is an extremely adaptable structure. The more food goes into the stomach, the more it actively expands. In the middle part of the stomach, called the body, gastric juice is produced and mixed with the mass of chewed food. The main component of gastric juice is gastric acid. This eliminates bacteria in the food and also helps to prepare the food for the following stages of digestion. The muscular contractions of the stomach wall churn the food mass and mix it with gastric juice. 3 contractions per minute move the food mass back and forth. After a certain time, the contents of the stomach are adequately broken down and mixed, and are passed in small quantities into the intestine via the pylorus. As the stomach empties, it gradually returns to its previous size.
All right, so after the stomach, we go into the small intestine. So the inside surface of the small intestine absorbs millions and millions of nutrients and tiny molecules of nutrients. All right, so the stomach has breaking it down into molecules. Now the small intestine can get in there and grab those molecules, whichever ones they need, and send them where they need to go. Okay, the inside wall of the small intestine is covered in tiny folds called villi. Okay, they're incredibly small, and they're like fingers inside the tube. And these guys are the ones that capture all the molecules floating by. What's the point of having villi instead of just a flat tube, right? So the tube has a limited surface area. But if you attach incredibly tiny small folds of villi all over the surface area of that tube, you've almost quadrupled the amount of surface area available to absorb that nutrients. So it's a very cool way to increase surface area and efficiency. The nutrients then are absorbed by blood passing by and are transported to other parts of the body. Then they're taken out of the blood and absorbed wherever they're needed. So let's take a look at this one. So you have your small intestine. Okay, those are your tubes. Within that, you have your villi. Okay, so there's small fingers sticking up essentially. Within those fingers, on those fingers, are even smaller fingers. Take a look at our diagram here. Look at our vein and our artery and our capillaries. Again, that's where the transfer of nutrients occur. Onto the liver. What is the liver going to do with the digestive system? Well, it helps convert excess amino acids, which can't be stored, into urea. All right, it stores and breaks down body fats as well, and it breaks down poisonous substance like alcohol in the blood. It gets rid of damaged or dead blood cells that you got hanging around. It also secretes bile, which is a bitter green fluid that helps break down large fat into smaller ones. Okay, that's found in the stomach bile. All right. Also here with the liver, we have the pancreas, which makes pancreatic juice that contains numerous digestive enzymes. So again, enzymes are those small guys that have chemicals in them to break stuff down. And bicarbonate ions, don't worry about that name, I know it sounds complicated, but this guy, ions just neutralize acidity, right? So, you know, acid, it corrodes stuff, so you want to reduce that in the body, so you have bicarbonate ions. So this is how the liver is attached to the stomach there. And here's how our pancreas is also attached to the stomach, actually going into the small intestine. Moving on to the large intestine. What's this guy all about? This guy is all about water. Okay, large intestine all about water. Think about stomach is about breaking stuff down. Small intestine is nutrients, and then large intestine is water. All right, this is how you get all your water. So it absorbs the water, vitamins, minerals from the undigestible particles that the small intestine said, you know what, we don't even need this stuff. Here, send it to the large intestine. You handle whatever's left over. Large intestine says, okay, no worries. I'll take the water. I'll take the vitamins. I'll take some minerals. The rest of it, let's shoot it down. It concentrates the feces, okay, and it stores them while water and minerals are extracted. Okay, after about 18 to 24 hours, the feces is pushed into the final storage area, the rectum, where it is located at the very end of the large intestine. All right, that concludes chapter 3, all about the digestive system. Next chapter is chapter 4 about the excretory system. All right.